we live? Let's have a look. Refresh the page is always the best way to deal with it. Refresh the page is always the best way to deal with it. It's a bit loud. It's just my earphones. Refresh the page is always the best. Right. Oh, hello. Hello, everyone. Hello. Hang on. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the live stream. Hello, how are you all? Hatchie, hello. I've had a highly spiritual day to the point it's been overwhelming me, and Buds should be with you later. Oh, cool. Well, hope you're not too overwhelmed. Hello, DJ B2. I've watched the movie, obviously. I do have my own criticisms about it, and I purposely did not watch your review. We'll do so after the stream. Right. Oh, no worries, mate. Was it you, DJ? Feel free to put your own criticisms in, but was it you who recommended it to me? I don't know. It may have been. But anyway, welcome, DJ B2. Hello, Rhiannon Raven. How do you do? Are you all set for Weird Weekend North? Oh, dear. DJ says, when I crashed my car, it was totaled, and the response was a cop car, and they're waiting for the other stuff. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that, DJ. Hello, Johnny Fettler. How are you? Hello, Red Snapper. Hi, is this an anti-white movie? Good question. Now, I don't know if you've seen my review, but you made. I hope you've watched the film. The answer is no. I'm actually make the point in the review that most films of this subject, that is 19th century slave states, things like that, are very anti-white. This one's not. This one is absolutely not, and that's really, really good. DJ B2 says, I did recommend the film. I am the racist. Oh, well, I thought somebody did. I think it was when I was on the Crafty Nihilist live stream. You mentioned it, and you directed me to the trailer. I remember, and I thought, oh, it looks good. I mean, I could work out kind of what it was about from the trailer, as I said. But just out of interest, could you put a Y in chat if you've seen it, and an N if you haven't? Hello, Phuket. How you doing? Just so I know, I mean, there will be spoilers in this, just like there was in the review. But this is the nature of Watch Party. Well done, of course, DJ. Yeah, not Johnny Fan. Okay. The nature of Watch Party is that. Hello, Red Snapper. How you doing? All right. I can't believe I still got a cough. It's been over 3 weeks now, but there's nothing I can do about it. But yeah, right. Oh, right. So there will be spoilers in this. But to be honest, I mean, you can still enjoy it, I think, because the trailer, in a sense, gives the plot away in a way, and it's only but it's when you watch the film you realise how the actual plot is executed. It's done very well. Hello, Body Technician. How are you? Phuket's seen it. Good. Yep, so it's you can actually you can see how well it's executed. I mean, I've been thinking since I did the review, I've had more thoughts about this, and you can let me know whether you agree with me or not. But I just remember thinking to myself, where was it? The nature of Smith. What is he? Who is he, or what is he? Because I don't think I mentioned this in the review, but there's one scene where he is performing what looks like a satanic ritual. He's stripped to the waist. He's whipping himself, self-flagellating in front of a cow skull, and he mutters. He carries out a chant like a Latin. He starts speaking a Latin prayer or something, and I can't speak. I don't know any Latin, but he mentions the word Diablo, which means devil. And the way you're introduced to him, you don't even see him until he gets out of his coach, and he's approaching the door of the mansion. Before then, he's in the coach. He's in the carriage, the horse-drawn carriage. There's a black man driving the coach, and there's a girl sitting beside him who looks over her shoulder and says, "Hi, Dad, are we there yet?" The way kids do. But you don't see him. He's hidden, so you don't know. What does he always look like? A sort of red-coated, well-dressed black man, or is that just how he looks at that particular time? Hello, David Splendid Isolation. How are you? Or is that just how he happens to look for this particular role? Can he shapeshift, in other words? So you don't actually see him to begin with. And as I explained later, those people can't possibly, I explained in the review, those people can't possibly be his family. They cannot possibly be his family, can they? By that I mean there's more than a number of hints that Smith is not actually, he's not actually really human. That he's actually some kind of demon. He's some kind of malevolent supernatural being. Anyway, there was only one comment on the notice. I've already deleted the notice, and it was Bobster Bobster the Blind Beagle Terrier, who said, "Ben, why?" Question mark. Well, Bob, it's a watch party. I've got to do a live stream, haven't I? Once I've done the review. So, and I mean, you may remember. I mean, maybe I should have kept it, but I can show you the image I chose for the. I chose a pretty good image for the. I think for the. Here we go. This is the image I chose for the notice, which is pretty good. It's a still from the movie, and it is Samuel the conspiracy theorist. He actually represents the conspiracy theorists because he is basically he's just like us. He's the man who can see through it all and is trying to. The others are all cheering on. This is when TT gets killed. This is the second death. I think there's actually a third death in the movie. I think in the final scene when Jimmy Jack is leading Sarah away, I think Sarah, I mean, it's obviously it happens off camera. It happens after the end of the movie, but I think Sarah will be the next one to be killed to distract the people. And here they are all cheering for blood after TT gets killed, and they're blaming it on a wild beast or some other farmer. Samuel, sadly standing there, can see through it all. He's not joining in. Now, isn't that like us? Wasn't that like us on that particular instance in New York in 2001 involving two big buildings? I can't even say, you can't actually say it now on YouTube. It's awful, but I can't actually say what it is. It's stupid having to talk in code all the time. But the internet safety, the online safety act is now law. So it's pathetic. But that in 2001 there was a terrible crime committed in New York City involving the two very big buildings. That's what it was like for us. That's how we feel. How are you all, everyone? See if there's anyone else there. I'll be interested to get your take on it anyway. Alan Raven says Smith is dressed in the red coat of a circus leader, which is quite fitting when one thinks about it. Yes, he's dressed like you say, like a master of ceremonies at the circus. Top hat, red coat, which of course is what he is. Red Snapper says David Icke said it was brilliant. It showed the nonsense of democracy. Exactly. I mean, it's not a very subtle film, is it? As I said, it's not as arcane as Wag the Dog. I love V for Vendetta. These are really, really good metaphorical Orwellian allegorical films, but this is by far the simplest, and a bit of simplicity may be what's necessary. DJ says, Ben, watch more Dollar Vigilante. Not with Lucy, R.I.P. It's now with apples. I've never heard of Dollar Vigilante. What is it? What is that exactly? Anyway, Red Snapper, could the online harms bill land you in prison, Ben? Yes. The online safety act, as it's called now, the online harms bill is cancelled. But I said, didn't I? I said when Starmer got in, they would read the bill again, and they have. They've just given it a different name, but it has most of the same text in it. It has the same effect. And David says, technically, the main part of the online safety bill has been enacted into law since last year. Well, the big tech, Silicon Valley, like YouTube, which we're using right now, that has been behaving as if the Online Safety Act were law for years now, as if someone's had a word in their ear and said like, oh, don't worry, it'll all be give it a few years and this will all be in black and white. I actually wrote an article about it. Again, I'm referring you to Panmo Voice. I write these articles so that for this reason. Where are we? Here we are. The Online Safety Act goes live. You can read about it there. Right. Red Snapper, you are lawful but awful, Ben. That's good to know. Ben Smith is an AC figure. We see him worshipping the boss. Yeah, AC as in. So I don't know what that stands for, but I think he means he's he believes it's a satanic. I think he's like a satanic antichrist. Oh, antichrist. Yes, antichrist. Yeah, he is kind of like that. He's certainly. I think he's a demonic entity. I don't think he's human. You don't even see him when he's approaching the bill. When he's approaching the building, the plantation, you don't see him. He's hidden. So what does he look like when he's there? Does he change his appearance when he arrives into what we see him as? Is that what he changes his appearance? So go back to my notes. Right. Okay. Right. So yeah, it's a cotton plantation in the deep south, mid 19th century. Quite obviously, you need some historical accuracy, so they got costumes and things like that. But apart from that, it's a low budget film. Modern sounding, a modern sounding score. Not politically correct. There's Irish. There's an Irish slave there as well, and it's as I said. I'm glad it is not. It is not. What's the word? It is not a white guilt trip, which is good. As I said, I compare the Smith character. He's smirking, chuckling, always looking very full of himself. I compare him very much to Conrad Breen in Wag the Dog. This is Robert De Niro's character in Wag the Dog. He's very similar to that, although this is a film with a simpler plot than Wag the Dog. But he's described by obviously Nathaniel Jones had this man recommended to him by other plantation owners and said he works magic. He charged a lot of money, but he does a really, really good job. Now, I should point out some of the dialogue is not. I don't think it's absolutely authentic. I mean, the way Smith talks to Nathaniel and says, I can't actually say these words on YouTube, but he says, "Get the fuck back, get your C-word ass back. Well, I save your C-word ass." I don't think people in the 19th century spoke like that. So, but then it doesn't have to be really, does it? It doesn't matter if it's not completely authentic. Doesn't matter. It's not meant to be like a historic. It's not. It has a level of historical accuracy which is necessary. Obviously. Oh, you can't allow them to walk around wearing digital watches and carrying a mobile phone, unless sometimes that's done for effect, like in the Tesla movie. But you get these anachronisms. But obviously, you want to avoid these. But he is this guy. His name's Smith. His name's Tobias Smith. But he says that's my job. I'm a slave smith. And of course, we know everything that happens, and I've been through it in the review. I'm not going to repeat what's in the review. It's like Animal Farm. It's an allegory of our society, and it's done in a similar way to Animal Farm. This is like our world, and we're like those people. And there's references here to corruption, political corruption. Doesn't matter who you vote for because they're all on the same side. That the financial system, there's references to that, and of course to false flag danger or engineered enemies. There's references to that. Again, I have to be careful what I say now, don't I? And of course, in the end, yeah, the deaths of the children, KK and TT. I don't know why they've got those names, KK, TT. But there's the political. Is this massive political allegory. There's this reference to the Stanford prison experiment. Give a man power over another, and you'll see his darker side come out. That's a great quote. I don't want to like moan about human nature, because people go on about human nature. Hey man, that's human nature, man. That's human nature. They tend to be backslappers. And I've often said being a backslapper is a form of surrender. And of course, when Samuel, one thing I didn't stress enough in the review, when Samuel is whipped at the end, what do the other slaves do? They cheer him on. They cheer on Slug and Scout, these two black men who whip him. And of course, they're slaves too. They're both blacks. They're also black slaves on this plantation, but they think they've been given power through security by being in charge of security, where Smith puts them in charge of security, and it's gone to their heads. And they eagerly beat Samuel with a whip, and the other slaves cheer him on. They hate Samuel. They hate Samuel because he told them the truth. Samuel's own father assaults him. Do you remember that he's trying to tell his family about this, and his dad slaps him around the face? And then at the same time, you see Jimmy Jack. Jimmy Jack's not. Smith says, "It's a pity Jimmy Jack's not here to enjoy this." But Jimmy Jack is away with Sarah. You see her picking up Sarah, the little girl, the one whose hair Nathaniel sniffed. We've seen that before, haven't we? Who sniffs hair like that? And carries her away. And there's a distinct hint that Sarah is now going to be murdered, like the other two children were murdered, as the next boot to create the next outrage. Going to go for your comments here. Is Eddie Murphy in it? No, he's not. He's not in it. Hello, Observer. How are you? What's all this about? Dearie me. It's like how do we recap all this? Rhiannon, are you going to become a magistrate? I won't show that, but I need to become a magistrate ASAP, so I tell them not to feck off. Right. DJ, my main criticism is it went on a bit too longer than needed near the end on the bankers, as it was already explained with the plantation bucks thing. It's fair enough. I didn't detect that myself, but if you feel, I mean, it's an hour and 44 minutes. It's quite a long film. Quite a lot on in there. Hey, Hugo Rune is here. Spliffs in the tin. How are you? So Rian says the soundtrack was completely anachronistic. It made it look amateurish. Quite possibly, although, like I said, anachronisms are sometimes used for effect. I mean, in the Tesla movie, it does it quite well. So I didn't have a problem with it. I mean, obviously, it was ahistorical, and it added to the kind of unreality of it. So probably if this was to be entered into a competition for historical movies, it probably wouldn't get very far, because it may not be as authentic as maybe some others would be. But I don't think that was the objective of the filmmakers. Red Snapper, do you think it should have been more diverse in the cast? Say a mixture of black and white slaves and a Chinese slave master, for example. Oh, you racist! You racist! Funny you should say that, Red Snapper, because this is what makes it so politically incorrect. At least one of the slaves was an Irish guy. He was actually he was actually one of the guy who wrote it. He was one of the writers. What's the name? I can't remember his name. Larkin Rose was the name of the actor, and he was one of the writers. DJ says the company currency thing was a good analogy for fiat money. They did not need the second thing about the banking system. Oh, was that the second thing about the banking system? Was that when one of them stole some of the pieces of paper? Was that it? Remind me. Sorry, DJ. Could you remind me? Dear me, I only watched it a couple of days ago. Oh, where was my notes? Sorry, just remind me when that was. It's annoying when that happens. But yeah, Samuel. Was that the equal pay, no incentive sort of thing? Because do you remember when Earl Johnson, the new manager, when he gets elected, quote unquote, he immediately introduced a kind of socialist system where everyone gets paid the same. So it's a kind of basic income. No, but then of course that leaves no incentive for extra work. Whereas the original system with Smith got them all working very hard. But Samuel, of course, is Samuel is the free spirit. He tries to escape, and they try to stop him. They give him this stupid picture and say it's a map. Of course, he gets captured, and you find out later that Smith set the whole capturing thing up. And then when he threatens to tell the others, Smith just shrugs and says, "Go ahead. They don't want truth or freedom. Go ahead, tell them. I don't care." That was his attitude. And of course, look how his family react. His father hits him when he tries to tell him, "No, Mr. Smith is a good man." And then, of course, then they whip him, and everyone cheers him on. Where is so? Rhiannon says, "All right, where are we now?" Hit the like button. Thank you, Rhiannon. Please do. Yeah, I've got 14 people watching. I bet it's more than that. I don't know. I've never understood why my viewing figures are so low, and I don't believe them. I've been making videos now for 18 years. I don't know any other YouTuber who does who creates as much content as I do for such a long time, gets as fewer views as mine. So I think this is YouTube giving me fake stats. I think there's more than it says 13 now. I think there's more than that. Oh, Rihanna says it's so relatable that wasn't the reason for the 1950s sideboard in the kitchen. Well, all right, it wasn't completely perfect. I got the feeling actually they used the actual location to do the indoor scenes. They didn't have a studio as such. Yeah. I think they had. Hello, Nihilist Lives Matter. How do you do? Rhiannon says the actor playing Mr. Smith was a really good actor. Yes, Morris, somebody. He was very good. He really comes across as this slimy, snide, two-faced sort of evil genius. Definitely. Observer, what happens at the end? Oh, it's good. Well, the ending is brilliant because Jones then he breaks the fourth wall. He addresses the audience. He does that speech about how you put physical change on a man, but if you put mental change on him, they work much better. And of course, then he says the work of Mr. Smith is now done. David says it's obvious why this film has been largely ignored because it doesn't go along with the PC narrative when it comes to that subject matter. That could be one of the reasons. Also, possibly they didn't have the budget for hiring a big distributor. It could be all kinds of reasons, but obviously the politically incorrect level is going to be a hindrance. This is why absolute drivel like Get Out and Black Panther 2 become so successful, even though they're awful films. Hachi says, what an Accurism sounds like some sort of thing that's illegal. I'm a Westminster toilet. Love you, Ben. Anachronism. It's something that doesn't fit in with the time period. So it's something you get a historical movie. There's something modern in it, or you have something modern and there's there's historical things in. There was a good example of an anachronism actually in the documentary about Helen Duncan, which I reviewed on Panmo Voice. There's a lot of the presenter. She uses old-fashioned stuff. Like there's a CRT TV and there's VHS and there's tapes and things. DJ, they had a really limited budget apparently. I can well believe it. It's an independent production. It's not backed by any big studio. I thought it's like one of these. I think I'd probably classify it as folk cinema actually. Yeah. Leon says the film is set in slave times, but has music that is modern pop music, and that's an anachronism. Yeah. Yeah, there's several like that. I mean, there's the film 1899 had sort of like modern kind of like dark factory house, But DJ, the crane shots they used were not an optimal budget use. Well, they had drone shots, and there's also one shot I'm sure uses a model. They built a model in one of the shots, I remember. But they had drone footage. I mean, one of the drone shots is actually behind me in the background. They had a lot of shots like this, drone shots, just filming the field, the cotton plants. I can't believe my voice is still hoarse. Maybe it's a permanent change in my voice. Anyway, guys, so that was all I could add to the notes, really. I don't know if anyone wants to add anything. If not, this will be a bit of this, I suppose, will be quite a short live stream, but let me know. Observer, are we slaves today? Well, it's a good question because how do you define slavery? And everyone is saying yes. I mean, technically, a slave is a person who is the property of another and has no independent right to their own life because they're the property of another person. But what if we weren't? What if we were actually were slaves, but they just didn't tell us we were slaves? What if they did? What if they've done exactly the same thing to us? That's the whole point of the film. What if they actually have freed us? What if they just said, "You people are now free. You people are now free," but really we're not. Maybe we still are slaves, but they just don't tell us, and we think we're free. That's the whole point. And Rhiannon says we are slaves to our senses and our physical needs. Well, as who was it who says a man has as many masters as he has vices? Hachi says, oh, where is it? Ben knows I can be problematic. We go back a long way. Hachi, if you're not problematic, then anyone who's not problematic in this world has something wrong with them, I'd say. David, we are economic slaves to a certain extent because the money power that has controlled the purchasing power of people through the ages. It's the only time JC used force against the money changers. That's right. He overturned the stalls in the temple. Yes. 69 Phuket. Money doesn't grow on trees. Well, it does in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It does. Do you remember? They all. Do you remember in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy they adopt the leaf as their currency, and as a result they have massive inflation because everyone becomes enormously rich, and everyone becomes multi-billionaires because leaves are everywhere on trees. So they solve the problem by burning down the forests. Red Snapper says here, this is interesting. Was that Oxford Nigerian woman a modern slave owner, or was she a victim of a grey area law? Oh, right, yes. Actually, it was Tina who made me aware of this, actually. Oxford. Oh, she was Ugandan. Slaves. What's her name? Yes. A UN judge. That's right. Yes, a UN judge from Uganda, Lydia Mugambi, she was convicted of keeping a slave. She actually had a woman in her home working for her who was, by every definition, a slave. She was held in indentured servitude in her home. Yeah. And what's really bad is her sponsor at the Ugandan High Commission. He's still there. He hasn't been expelled. Yeah. Hachi, it's good to see you in the Eric Von Essex streams. Oh, thanks, mate. I'm on another one. I'm on another one Monday. Yeah. I'm on another one. Yeah. The Bible says the love of money is the root of all evil. If you mean greed, yes. I mean, loving money doesn't necessarily mean greedy. I mean, there's that in Ayn Rand's Atlas Shrugged. There's this big speech about how wonderful money is, but it's if it becomes obsession, if it becomes like an obsession, then yeah. Hugo Rune. Oh, you mentioned Nigeria. I lived there too. Worked for Shell Memories. Thank you. Oh, Hugo, where haven't you been? Yeah, Uganda. Yeah, a friend of Jar. Hello, friend of Jar. Hey, Hugo. Is it? I'm sure Hugo will have a smoke with you sometime. Debt slaves. That's why there is a debt release every 50 years in the Torah called a Jubilee. That's right. That's right. And this was part of the debt relief. I mean, this is what really the only way forward for our world is to have like a Jubilee, because there's no way we could ever pay back. I mean, there are 40 quadrillion dollars in derivative shares and things like that. I mean, you'd have to sell Jupiter to the aliens to pay it all back. Yeah. DJ, I disagree with Ayn Rand. I do a lot with some of it. Yeah, I do with some of it. Hachi says, DJ, me and the Hound are okay. Looks like Ben's in Fockham Hall Monday. I am. Yes. David says, there are 6 different words for love in Greek. We have to see which one is used in that verse in order to further understand the context. Yeah, there's eros, which is love between a man and a woman, sexual love. There's Philadelphia, which is the love of a brother. There's filial love, the love of a son or father. I can't remember all the others. Yeah. Observer. What about King Charles? Looks like he does not have long left. Well, he's been treated in hospital for cancer. Yeah. It's funny how they're getting cancer, because Kate and he both had cancer at the same time. Yeah. Oh dear, Red Snapper says she won a Human Rights Award in 2019. Oh man, I can well believe it. And no one gives a damn, because if this was a white person who did that, they would, oh God, there'd be outcry, wouldn't there? And Anon says, what's the word for the love of a crow? Corvidophilia, I imagine. Oh, agape, yes, which is a man's heart's desire. Yeah, it's interesting, that, isn't it? Because English has, there's all kinds. There's actually a linguistics YouTube channel where the guy Lang Focus, he talks about. He says there are certain words in English that have more than one word in other languages and they can't really translate, and vice versa. There's words in other languages that can't be translated into English. Japanese and German, in particular, have many words that can't be directly translated into English. Hugo, welcome to have a spliff here. Oh, yeah, that's right. So, Mr. What's his name? Friend of Jar. You have a kindred spirit in Hugo Rune. Red Snapper. Corbynophilia. That sounds like a satirical. That sounds like a title of a satirical comedy written by Peter Hitchens. Hatchy. I know. A flock of crows are a murder. Yeah, weird weekend north last year. There's a woman with a T-shirt that had 2 crows on it, and it said attempted murder. Yes, a parliament of owls, a murder of crows, a crash of rhinoceroses, a drove of camels. Is there anything else? What's a collective noun for, I don't know, how about prostitutes? Would you call them like a nest of tarts or something? Oh, I've got one. A fanfare of strumpets. That's a good one. How about homeless people? So I'm being nasty now because you remember my homeless video. When I made that video about my argument with a homeless person, I said that he's the worst one in his entitlement, because I thought a good collective noun for homeless people is an entitlement of homeless people. An entitlement. Yes. Hello, Michelle Wilkinson. Welcome. Someone's got a word here. DJ says like, "Gott in Himmel." I don't know. I think Michael Shrimpton will tell you it just means raising the devil or something like that. I don't know. 69 Phuket. His channeling is in a Shrimpton. Too German for my liking. Leon Raven. Does anyone know what the word is for a group of cats? I'm not sure. I know a pride of lions, but you see, lions are social cats. Most cats don't live in social groups. For other species, they tend to be solitary. So I don't know. Maybe there is none because they tend to be solitary creatures by habit. Lions are an exception. A pack of dogs, a pride of lions, a clouder of cats. Is that it? 69 Focus, a pride of cats. My mog ain't going to fit there. A gaggle of conspiracy theorists. Yes. A gaggle. I thought that's maybe a paranoia of conspiracy theorists. I don't know. DJ says, Bundesnachrichtendienst is the German Secret Service. All right. There's one called the DVD. I don't know what it stands for, but I remember it because it's DVD, as in digital vertical disc. And Shrimpton's always gone on about it because that is the German's central intelligence. It's like the chief foreign intelligence agency. So yeah, I mean, basically, I can't think of anything. I don't know if we can add anything without your input. I can't really add anything more to the film, but I do think it's a bloody good. It's a damn good. It's really, really good. Like I said, this is the film to show to the blue-pilled person in your life. That's its role, I think. I mean, it's not really aimed at people like us because, I watched it thinking I know all this already. But if I wanted to show anyone who's curious or anyone who's skeptical, this is the perfect way to get them going. I mean, sometimes fictional allegories are so good at getting messages across. This is why George Orwell wrote them. Do you know the whole thing about higher dimensions, parallel universes? I didn't understand it. I couldn't understand it. But then I read Edwin Abbott's Flatland. If you read Flatland by Edwin Abbott, you'll get it. Phuket says, we're jaded ex-theorists, but still keep a nose in. All right. A pack of nutty conspiracy theorists. How about a nut tree? I don't know, a nut tree of conspiracy theorists. Yes, as DJ says, it's good for red pilling normies. Exactly. There's nothing to lose in theories except love. Hugo Rune says, "Oh, I spoke 4 languages fluently and a bit of others. Konnichiwa. That's German. That's Japanese. I know you had a Japanese girlfriend. I know, so it helps if you can speak a language. I could speak. I have spoken 5 languages fluently in my life. But the thing is, like, if you can, unless you, because I mean, I actually spoke 3 from when I was a little kid because I grew up in Welsh-speaking Wales. My spoke English at home, but my Dutch family all spoke Dutch. So I was really brought up on kind of 3 languages as a child. But now I can only speak English fluently, really. Now, yeah, only English because I haven't used the others for so long. The 2 others were French and German, which I learned at school. Leon said, I think you would still have to help them because there's a lot of people out there who would watch it and think it was just a weird film about slavery with shit music. I think if they think that, Rhiannon, I expect they are actually maybe incurable. They may be people who are incapable of lateral thought and curiosity, and there are people like that. Let's face it, there are people like that. I know them. Some of them are close relatives, and in that case, there's nothing you can do. I think there's nothing you can do. You have to leave them to live their life. Yeah. Hachi. I got called a conspiracy theorist today. Lol. Really? What did you do right? Hmm. Congratulations. Yes, exactly. Congratulations. Michal says, is questioning your sanity a symptom of sanity? Serious question. I think it'd have to be because you would have to be because if you didn't and if you were really insane, I don't think you could do that. Hugo Rule, laten we Nederlands praten. Yeah. David, was Mrs. Jones getting drunk because Mr. Jones getting drunk because he felt guilty about it? He didn't strike me as someone who did. No, I doubt if he was the kind of person who would feel guilt. He didn't appear to be that kind of person. I think he was a very pragmatic individual. He actually said, "I just want my plantation to run well, and I want it to work properly." His wife is scared of an uprising by the slaves. That's why she wants him to bring in Smith. A zeal of flat earthers. Yes. Alan Ravens. I work with people who think it's just a weird film about slavery with shit music. I don't. Well, I'm self-employed. I work on my own, but I have close relatives who would say the same thing, Rihanna. I have people. I wouldn't show this to my dad or to my brother because they wouldn't get it. They would probably just say, "Oh, it's a bit of a silly film." I don't, and they wouldn't get the points that we get. Michelle said, "Thanks, Ben. I wondered if the insane could wonder if they were insane. I don't know. Probably not." There's that old phrase, if you're keeping your head while others around you are losing theirs, maybe you've misjudged the situation, indicating that perhaps that's a sign that you are crazy. I mean, um, what's his name? What's the name of that guy? I can't remember. He wrote the Believing Bullshit book. He talks about intellectual black holes. Like if you're inside one, you can't see out, and you don't know you're um yeah, I can't remember his bloody name. Stephen Law. Stephen Law. I actually met him. I've spoken to him actually. Yeah. But he says dementia patients know when they're losing it though, and it's horrible. Yeah. That's sad because people realise that if people, I mean, you may not know if you're like mentally ill, but dementia really is a physical illness, not mental. It affects the brain. It can cause mental disorders, but it's essentially a physical illness. But if you can't remember something, or you can't remember, you get up one morning, you can't remember how to get to the kitchen. You can't remember where the kitchen is in your house. That's horrible. Red Snapper said, "Your dad would just think it's a boring movie." Yeah, he wouldn't like it. He wouldn't like it. He would just think, "Oh, this is interesting." Oh, they didn't think much of that. So would my brother. DJ said, "I listened to something today, which was that the Earth is not flat; it's bigger than we think." Is it? Oh, really? I mean, again, could that be kept secret? Hugo says, "Do I have dementia?" I assume not. I mean, I know you're not a young man, but you seem mentally normal. I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, sometimes you post weird things when you've had a few spliffs, but that's not dementia. That's just a drug. And you, Phuket puts it far more pithily. You know how to roll a spliff. Yeah, exactly. That's it, guys. Yes. Yeah, I don't believe I've just got. It says I've got 23 people watching. I don't believe I've just got 23 people watching. I reckon I've got more than that. I reckon YouTube are giving me fake statistics. I meet people all the time, like who in the community who say, "Yeah, I know you, Ben. I watch you and things like that." And I've even met people in the street who recognise me. I have more than 24 people watching this stream right now. But YouTube, Google generally, I think, want to downplay my reach. They want to make me think I'm not having, I'm not, I'm not as people don't find me as interesting as they do, so that I'll give up. They want me to give up, but it's not. It's a trick that won't work, I'm afraid. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it's interesting. This the world we live in. I mean, there's lots of there's other good ones which are more symbolic. I mean, the thing about Wag the Dog is it's very good, but it's much more intellectual than Jones Plantation. It's at a higher level intellectually. Not that Jones Plantation is for stupid people, but it's just comprehensive. It's more comprehensive. It's more simple. Whereas Wag the Dog is a little bit more. It's a bit more sort of like up there, and it's a bit more up there, I think, in terms of like its complexity. The same goes for V for Vendetta, and there's others like I think the ultimate is probably the Prisoner TV series. By the way, the interview I did with David Yorkshire about that is still available. I downloaded it. So when his channel was banned, I uploaded it to the Interesting Videos public YouTube Facebook group. Rhiannon says maybe people watch the live videos after they have been live, Ben, and lots of your fans are probably out partying on a Saturday night, unlike us sad old gits. Yeah, could be. David, what was the budget for the movie? I don't know, but I'm guessing it's pretty low. There are no famous actors in it. It's like a B or C list cast. Like I say, a lot of the crew are also cast members. I suspect that it's quite low budget. As I said, I would classify it as folk cinema, and it clearly didn't. It clearly was a limited release movie. There's no mainstream. The mainstream media didn't review it. There's the Guardian, and the Times. I mean, Rotten Tomatoes did their thing on it, but even they have a very limited review because of the lack of a reach for it. The lack of footprint it has. Hugo says, someone gave my mum cannabis at a party, and that's what started her illness off, so I can't have the same views as you. Sorry, we'll have to disagree. Oh, does it couldn't really trigger that sort of thing? Because I was given cannabis for the first time a couple of years ago. I had some. My daughter's very amused because she got stoned before her dad did. She said, my dog can't wag its tail, poor bugger. I lost it. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Rhiannon says, isn't Rotten Tomatoes a lesbian thing? I don't know. It's just it's a kind of poll of the polls, or review aggregator. I don't know if it's got anything to do with lesbians. I don't know. Maybe the lesbians run it. I don't know. I'm not sure. So the TV series, The Prisoner, is again. It's about this idea. It's about this idea about how people are controlled, about a man who is stuck in a fake world, and about how these systems of control work. And it's really good because several times he escapes, and you think he's escaped, and he just finds himself back there. David says, fried green tomatoes at the Whistle Stop Cafe. I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen that. Oh, right, Hugo and Hugo and Rhiannon having a debate about cannabis. Hugo says alcohol, Stella can in hand now. Oh, you got Stella? Oh, right. I've got some wine actually, but I've still got some wine left. Observer, what would you call a group of aliens? That's a good question. Yes. I don't know. I suppose it depends what sort of aliens they are, because there are many, many different kinds, aren't there? Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what you call them. Right. So, is there anything else we can add? I don't know what else to add, actually, to this particular. Is there any other questions or comments anyone wants to ask? We could bring up different subjects if you like. If you want to bring up a different subject, that's fine. A bin of aliens. Yes, but you got to take. Yeah, at least that's why you hope you'll throw them if they try and get you when you put the bins out. Yeah. I've had an idea, guys. By the way, I've had an idea for a future video. This is going forward a couple of months now. A special St. Theo's Day watch party. So what happens was we'll do a watch party for a movie, but it is a hospital portering movie. So it's one of the films that has hospital porters in. Although, please not paper mask. Please don't not paper mask. But I thought I'd ask you guys which ones you want me to do. And we'll sort of like think about what we do. I mean, anything we don't do one year, we can do another. Oh, 69 Phuket. Can we talk about the US administration? Sure. Michelle says, seems silent on the alien abduction subject lately. Yeah, they that hasn't come up yet, has it? Really, the abduction thing. Certainly not in the hearings. It's been mentioned a couple of times, but I mean, it's a big part of the UFO issue. It's probably the most frightening thing, and it's the one which the government least want to admit, because I think it is the one where they have to say there's nothing we can do about this, and government, politicians don't like saying that. Well, even if it's something like the interest rates or unemployment levels, they have to say something like, "Look, we have the matter in hand." But when it comes to alien abduction, like everything else UFOs do, we have to say, look, I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do about this. They will come and they will take you, and we can't stop them. Right. David, wasn't that film about cannibalism at the end? Did they eat the boyfriend? Oh, was that? Oh, that was that Italian thing, wasn't it? Yeah. Observer. A bunch of fannies. Oh, the fanny jokes have come out, yes. Rhiannon, I dream of being able to put the bins out or walk in the forest without the fear of alien abduction, but it can never be, as I am permanently terrified. Oh dear. I'm sorry, Rhiannon. Red Snapper. Is St. Theo your favourite saint? Of course. He was the patron saint of hospital porters. Of course he is. St. Theobald of Ruggiero. Born in 1170 in Piedmont, Italy. Hachi says, is alien disclosure still on the way? I've been watching Blue Jeans and in his gear. Oh, you're talking about Stephen Greer. Oh, Greer. Blue Jeans. Oh, Dr. Stephen Greer. Oh, be still my beating heart. Oh, Ben, you're straight. Stop it. It is still on the way. Greer is annoyed at the moment because he's not the centre of it all anymore. He is he wants it to be all about him, and it's not, and he's annoyed about that. That's why he's angry with Lou Elizondo, because he's now just one of many people who are involved in this. Yeah. I like the Stephen Greenstreet bloke, although because he says the whole alien thing is nonsense and there aren't no aliens. Well, I don't dislike him personally, but he's wrong about that. And I've actually done reviews of some of the things he says. I do find him a bit annoying. I mean, anyone who shares a hairdresser with a certain mid-20th century leader from a certain Central European nation, it's not a good look. It's not a good look. The optics, Stephen, optics. Michelle Wilkinson says, I expect disclosure before 2025 for sure, but who knows anymore? Well, there's supposed to be like some big announcement from this skywatching group in April the 6th or something, isn't it? Yeah. Observer. Would you make Boudica a saint? Yes. Yes, I would. Although, to be a saint, I think you have to be a Christian, and she wasn't. She actually lived about 200 years before the rise of Christianity in the Roman Empire. Yeah. Rhiannon says, I don't agree with Stephen Greenstreet either because he can't know for sure, but I like it that it calms my alien fears down when he says there are no aliens. All right, well, if that helps, Rhiannon, but I think but I have slightly reviewed some of the things he says because he makes mistakes, in my view. Oh, my voice. Oh, God, is it going to be like this when I go to Weird Weekend North? Oh, Hugo. Oh, friend of Jar says, did humans receive technology due to the Roswell incident? I read we started using silicon microchips. I don't think so, friend of Jar, and that's based on a book by Philip Corso called The Day After Roswell, which is a morass of nonsense and fiction and sensation, I'm afraid. I believe that it's possible we received technology, but if we did, it's been kept by the deep state. It hasn't been shared with the general public. So things like silicon chips, lasers, etc. The event there is there's an intellectual information train which explains how they were invented in the normal way. And she says, didn't wish to fire you up, Ben. Louis Ali Bongo and Coulthard, the racing driver, ain't much better. Oh, there was a racing driver called Coulthard, wasn't there? No relation to our Australian friend, who won't tell us where the building is with a UFO under it. Oh, Greenstreet's just tweeted. What has his royal haircut man has to say? Let's have a look. It's called Middle of Mayhem. It is. Yeah, let's have a look. All right, guys, let's see what he has to say. Because I do follow him. Here he is. That's his pinned one from March the 7th. All of the craziest claims of the stars in a new documentary. The Age of Disclosure. I've got to see that when it comes out. Oh, he's retweeted Gerald Posner. Oh, dearie me. Here we go. The time for a dose of reality. This is the supposed smoking gun. Oh, God, this is... Right, yeah, there's another video that's come out. This is complicated and long. I'll have to come out with it later. But, yeah, Anna Paulina Luna says there's a separate video which apparently shows Lee Harvey Oswald. It's a separate video, not the Zapruder film. It's another video, not the Zapruder film, of Dealey Plaza that shows Lee Harvey Oswald on the street and not in the book depository. So how is that possible? I don't have time to go into this now, but I will trust Gerald. Gerald Posner's a big Kennedy skeptic. He wrote a book about how it's all Lee Harvey Oswald and no one else. Is that the one you meant? Michel says, friend of Jarben wrote a good book on that. Bought it on Amazon a few years back. Oh, friend of Jar, are you a writer? Feel free to promote your book. DJ says, I disagree with Ben on this. Lol. Oh, with what exactly, DJ? What exactly? Crop circles is the big one. They're real. Yeah, I mean, crop circles is another example of something that happens. I mean, it's a very benign thing, a crop circle. It's not like abduction. There's nothing really frightening and dark about crop circles. If anything, they're very positive and nice. But again, it's something there's nothing. It does destroy a lot of crop, and it can be bad for a farmer. But what can you do to stop them? Hugo Rune. Are we the only life in our solar system? I don't think so, no. I think it's life on Mars. Then answers question. Why do cats always have to sit on things? If there is a piece of paper on the table, the cat will have to sit on it. Why is that? I don't know. Maybe something to do with getting its smell on things. About transmitting smell. That's my guess. don't like say that Posner is a prick, but he is a prick. Yeah, he's not because he believes the official story and he's always promoting it. It's just he is very rude about other people who would disagree with him. Oh, my book. Oh, right, my book. Oh, I see. Yeah. Thanks for reminding me, Michelle. Roswell Rising, a novel of disclosure. At all good bookshops now, and of course, the sequel. There's 2 sequels since this edition came out. But you get it at all good bookshops now. It's if you've been affected by any of the issues you see in this film, in this particular video, you know where to go. I don't have a helpline for you, but I do have a book. Posner wasn't as bad as Bugliossi, though. Arrogant man, arrogantly pushing the WC narrative, trying to gaslight everyone. Yeah, I think I know who you mean. Yes. Actually, crop circles produce double crop, do they? Oh, right. Rhiannon. Ben, do you remember that episode of Richard D. Hall where he spoke to a farmer who said he saw a black pole coming out of the sky? It was the crop circle investigation RDH did. Yes. Secrets of the Fields. Yes, that was one of his early videos. It's one of his early videos, and I remember that. Yes, I remember it well. I agree, Ben says, but we are dangerous. Sorry, Hugo, I don't know exactly what you're referring to there. Apologies. I think I may have left that bit of conversation behind. DJ, something about crop circle residual effects. They do have a residual effect, yeah. In fact, you can even see them on the fields. You can see a mark long after the harvest, even in winter, like when it snows. The snow is a different consistency over the crop circles. That shouldn't be possible, surely. Surely that shouldn't be possible. You know. 69. Humans in power are fooked, are you? I can't see anything getting better, to be honest. Where's that Stanford Prison Experiment DVD? I know it's here somewhere. I got the... There's a film made about the Stanford Prison Experiment. Sometimes called the Zimbardo Experiment. Where is it? I don't know. It's somewhere on my pile. Don't know where exactly, but it's somewhere on my pile. But that's very interesting. Yeah. Oh yeah, Arch Warren Commission pusher in chief. Yes. Some of them are just idiots like Posner. I think Posner's just an idiot dickhead, but others I think are specifically disinformation agents who are lying actively. Yeah. We are not the only life in our... Oh, right. Oh, I see. Solar system. I get it. Yeah, I get it. But we are a danger to our solar system. Well, Hugo, I mean, there's even the mainstream media is talking about the possibility they found life on Mars. There's certainly the signs of past life on Mars. Everything from, microfossils to sophisticated animal species that built the monuments on Mars. Excuse me. DJ, in the supermarkets in the UK are ongoing prison experiment with all the cameras. Yeah, you know that the some supermarkets now you actually have to go in through a pen. It's like a sheep pen to get in there, and then you can't get out unless you buy something. Well, it's very difficult to get out if you buy something. Michelle says, "I'm surprised you didn't mention the SpaceX Skytrail last week." Yeah, oh right, yes, I did mention it, Michelle, on her Panamo Voice. I don't know how many of you read it, but I did actually mention here. Look, spiral in the sky. It was seen over Oxford. You see? This was seen over everywhere. I mean, I missed it, unfortunately. It was only there for a few minutes, but there it is. It reminds me of the Norway spiral. You can read this article if you want. Apparently, it was caused by the Falcon 9 space rocket. And it was like a descent state. It was one of the early stages venting fuel before it landed. SpaceX haven't commented. They also didn't mention it was going to happen beforehand, which is unusual for them because normally they tell you when something like that is going to happen beforehand so that people can go out and watch it because they like that kind of publicity. So they haven't commented. It was the Met Office who are theorizing that it was just the space rocket that caused it. Although, again, it's just a theory. But of course, the skeptics are just promoting it as fact, settled fact. Typical clown's day off fallacy. Mars is Greenland, Ben. Oh, right. Do you mean Trump's going to take it over and take it off the Norwegians, off the Danish? No, I know what you mean, because Richard D. Hall said that it looks like some of the shots were filmed on Earth, and he thought it might be somewhere in the Arctic, North American Arctic. Yes, I thought Ben would be raving about that. Oh, I am. I don't think it was. I'm not convinced it was a rocket. I think that's a cover story. It's something. It was a complete theory that just popped. It was just basically Clown's Day off fallacy. And of course, the skeptics then say, "Oh, it must be true because it doesn't involve aliens." It was seen in Wales. Yeah, it was seen as far away as Italy. That's why Trump wants to buy Greenland. It's cheaper than funding NASA. Yes, it was seen everywhere. Yeah. Vincent Bugliosi also prosecuted the mock Lee Harvey Oswald trial. Oh, blimey. Yeah, that was because Oswald, of course, was silenced the following day, wasn't he? Forever. He was silenced forever. I remember the Norway spiral, yeah. So nobody actually knows for definite what caused the spiral. That's very, very interesting, quite scary. Yeah, no one knows for definite. SpaceX have not commented on this. This is simply a theory. But like all theories that doesn't involve aliens, the skeptics just promote it as fact. Michel says the skeptics say they always occur. First time I've seen it in the news. Yeah, it doesn't always occur. It doesn't. There's been, Elon put up a thing himself about all the various launches he's done. He's done like 10 launches this year. SpaceX is the busiest space agency in history. Never seen that before. Phuket flew a kite near Manchester Airport and they called the cops. Oh dear. Hattie says, always expected the unexpected. I'm still awaiting Blue Beam. But yeah, I wouldn't put it past them, Hattie. They'd do that, yeah. Musk needs reining in, says Phuket. Oh, good luck with that, mate. Good luck with that. But it's good because he's standing up to the Online Safety Act. So is Sebastian Gorka of Gab. They're standing up to it. They're standing up to this stuff. Gorka has said he's not going to comply with the Online Safety Act and things like that. He's going to continue to put Gab in the UK, things like that. Michel says, I lived beside the Kennedy Space Center and they never mentioned them. No, now this could be, to be fair, this could be because Musk's rockets are a very unique design. For example, the rocket stages are reusable. So a lot of the rocket is actually reusable, when a lot of the original NASA rockets were disposable. They were used once and then they were just burnt up in the atmosphere. But there's been enough SpaceX launches now with this new system for it to become a regular thing if it happens. So why didn't it happen with every launch? Who says, this is because DJ said this. Oh no, Leanne's replying to David, who said, all right, I don't know what this is about. Sorry, guys. This is, I think, a private debate between them. Red Snapper. Did you read Reclaiming History, the assassination of President John F. Kennedy? No. I read the one by Jim Mars, Crossfire, the one by Jim Mars. I also read the one by a guy called Mark Good. He wrote a book about Kennedy. Still reeling on Chinese spy balloons, says Michelle Wilkinson. Oh, well, it's kind of... Michelle. It's either that or drones, isn't it? Friend of Jar says, I saw one of Max Beer's friends on YouTube say that the day after Max died, a policeman called John Wedger, came to see her and he took Max's laptop. All right, John Wedger's not a policeman. But, I mean, I didn't know that. I've not heard that before. Phuket says, come on, Ben. Muskrat is on drugs. What about Trump? Well, he smoked a spliff with Joe Rogan. So he's not on drugs anymore. Probably he smokes less than Hugo Roon. Mind you, I expect the entire Jamaican Reggae scene smokes less than Hugo Rune. Oh, this is interesting. Maybe it says Rhiannon says maybe the spiral is a test of our globalist leaders trying to see how much they can get away with without explaining. I don't know, but one thing, even if they didn't create it, Rhiannon, one thing you can be sure of is that they will make the most of it. What by that I mean they will be watching us very carefully to see how we react to it. They have their best trained psychology. Yeah, their best trained psychologists. Anyone said, looks like the Gotham City Batman. Oh, well, a lot of people said that, yeah. Come on, just Phuket, get real. What do you mean, get real? David, have you read JFK and the Unspeakable? It's highly regarded. No, I haven't. Yeah, a lot of people were laughing about that, saying it looks like the bat signal. Phuket is like saying, what was it I said to Phuket? Hang on, I was reminding myself. Oh, about Trump, no, Phuket, come on. That's rhetoric. You're more intelligent than that, Ben. I think Elon is on our side. I know, I'm not a backslapper, I'm afraid. I think he's on our side. Hugo, cannabis is medication. Yeah, sure. Oh, yes. So's wine and beer. So's a little glass of sherry. It's all medical. It's medicinal. Yeah. I've got some wine, actually, which I'll... Michelle, masses reaction, comment, then forget. Well, some do. This is what I did, didn't I? I've just done that. Oh, dear, Michelle, I've just done that, haven't I? Friend of Jar says, I believe the ETs are not here so much to observe us, more for us to observe them. Really? Well, obviously they know we are going to observe them. They appear in ways that are very ostentatious at times. The Phoenix Lights, some of the space shuttle encounters are very, it's very obvious they're appearing in formation for us to see them, yeah. 16 food cake. Get a file of emergency vodka. Yeah, a very big one. Red Snapper. Should Hugo Rune be on this channel promoting drugs? Oh dear, am I now on the hit list for the Online Safety Act? Hugo is just stating the thing is, cannabis is medication. There's nothing really controversial about that. It is actually used as medication in certain circumstances. Oh dear, my bloody voice is giving out. How much longer is this going to go on for? It's been over 3 weeks since I first got my cold, and I've still got this hoarse voice. Sorry, guys, I'm not up to my usual standard. I'm gonna call if no one else has anything to say, I'm gonna call it a night. And it's not been a long live stream, but I'll do another one soon. In fact, I'm gonna there'll be a reportage of Weird Weekend North, which is where I'm going next weekend. Yes, I am. I've got to apologise. There's a bit of background noise because there's some kind of street party going on outside. I don't know what it is. And on Ben, the husky voice is not a bad thing. Oh well, I've been getting a lot of fan mail from women, I must say. DJ, it's early, Ben. I know, mate, but I'm a bit tired and my voice is giving out a bit. But if you have any questions or comments, you want to keep this going, let me know. David says, I'm currently quaffing Zinfandel. Very nice. Found in some UK supermarket. Rare old wine vine, famous for California, especially during Prohibition, when it was exempt for communion purposes. Oh, right. That's a good excuse. I never thought of that. Michelle, get some rest, Ben. I will, Michelle. I will in a minute. I just I don't like leaving it after just an hour and 10 minutes, but I think we've covered everything. I can't think of anything more to say about the film. And you brought up some very good points to do with it. So, but I want to. If anyone else has anything you want to add, feel free. But I'll say thank you to you all: Michelle Wilkinson, David Splendid Isolation, DJ B2, Rhiannon Raven, Hugo Rune, Red Snapper, 69 Phuket, a friend of Jar, Observer, Hatchy. DJ B2 still here, is he? Is he still here? Oh, cool. Holy Communion, Batman. Yes. Change the topic then. Oh, I mean, that's up. This is a live stream, so that's up to you guys. That's up to you. Nighty night, Ben. Everyone have a nice week. Nighty night, Leon. Don't forget. Oh God, I haven't posted a notice yet. Sunday night is Spanner night. Yes, 8 p.m. tomorrow evening. The Gas Spanner Show on Panmo Radio. Join me then. Friend of Jar, could there be a date that our leaders know about when the mothership will be coming, like Close Encounters of the Third Kind? Possibly. I mean, I don't think it will be like Close Encounters. I mean, the thing is, Steven Spielberg's Close Encounters of the Third Kind is a film. Night Night Red Snapper, Night Night Phuket, Lord have mercy, Night Night Michelle. It's a film where I have to be in a particular mood to watch it because it is just so Night Night Hugo Rune. So I'm saying good night while I'm talking about this. It's just so childlike and sweet. It's so naive. And I've got to be in that mood myself. I've got to be in that kind of very ungrounded frame of mind to enjoy Close Encounters. Because it's very, very ungrounded and it's very kind of like idealistic. I mean, even things like, the government, the way the government behave. I mean, when the Neary character and all the others escape from the base when they've been shipped out by helicopter, they're climbing over the hills to get to the rendezvous point. What does the government do? What do the government forces do? We're going to get tough with these people. You may call it extreme, but we're going to get very tough with them. We're going to drop gas on them that will knock them unconscious. Yes, we are. You may think that's a bit too much, but we think that's what we're going to do. We're going to drop gas on them so they go to sleep and then wake up again later. What would government agencies really do in that situation? They would get a machine gun and they blow everyone to bits. So that's what I mean by it being very, very naive and sort of like it's very idealistic. It's a very benign film. It's a childlike sweetness to it. Night, David. I knew a lady called Span. I can't tell. Right. Get an air purifier. I've got a dehumidifier. Maybe that's actually. I don't know if that's the cause, but I mean, I've switched it down now. The government wanted an event that would scare every Christian soul. Project Bluebeam, 90 DJ. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you all for watching this particular live stream. Sorry it's not longer, but I think we covered everything. We pretty much covered everything. What I'll do is I'll do a reply to comments video soon, and I'll cover the whole thing. I'll cover the comments that were in the review. Night, Paul Wolstenholme. Night. Thanks for watching. That's the first time I've seen you, but welcome. Okay, guys, thanks very much. Hospital Port, as pride and dignity. Stop the New World Order.